Hey everybody, Eric West here, HawaiiRealEstate.org. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, you know the drill. It's all about Hawaii, Maui fixes, whale watching, and the beauty that only Maui, I think, can bring into your personal life. So let's make it a beautiful 2023, shall we? I think it's going to be. It's a beautiful morning here on Maui, and the purpose of this video is to hopefully show you some whales. I was out here yesterday morning and I saw a lot. And so I've been waiting this morning to kick this live off because I'm like, where'd they go? So what we're going to do this morning is we're just going to walk along the beach. So just pretend for just a moment you're on the beautiful shores of Maui. It's not cold outside and you're just having a beautiful time. In the comments section, let me know what are your resolutions for 2023. And I just wanted to start before we get into this Maui fix on this beautiful morning. I just want to do a quick shout out. Yeah, you can tell I just woke up a little while ago. I was actually at a party until like, oh gosh, too late. But again, not drinking anymore, so woke up feeling like $1 million, which is unusual. A lot of my New Year's Eve days would be a little bit, a little rough. So it's nice to start it out just fresh as a daisy. But anyway, I want to start out the year because I think it's really important how you start stuff, right? How you start stuff really matters. So I'd like to start out the year thinking about somebody else, specifically Daniel. Daniel's a gentleman that lived on Maui for 10 years. He was abused, got into some kind of crazy situation, and both of his eyeballs were removed at the age of, I think, 40. So imagine your whole life you can see, and one day, through a matter of circumstances, who knows what they are exactly, you lose your sight completely, like you can't see anything. You didn't grow up a blind person, you grew up someone that's sighted, and now all of a sudden you can't see anything. He's stuck in a little room somewhere in Panama City, Florida. He's trying to get back to Maui, and it's a crazy, horrible, sad story, but I believe God has got a plan for Daniel, and we can help him get back to Maui. So let's start our year off right by helping somebody, just randomly. You don't know Daniel from Adam. I barely knew him, but I heard about his plight and his story, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to shout him out the best I can. So I'm going to put a link in the description of this video to his GoFundMe page. So if you can give $5, if you can give $500, just give something. Maybe you can just share the link and bring awareness to Daniel's plight. It's a great way to start the year. It's a great way to put some good energy out there, help somebody, and someday when Daniel's back on Maui with the people that he loves and the place that he loves, you can look back on this day and say, hey, I helped Daniel, man. I helped him. I did it. I was part of that story. Not me, but you. So let's start the year out right. Let's start out by giving. Better to give than to receive. And you'll set up your year, I believe, for an amazing 2023. So with that, without any further ado, let's look for some whales. Darn it, where are they at? Where's the button? Daniel? Okay, so here we are. I started out at Airport Beach, Kahikili, and as you ponder Daniel's plight, and you'll be looking for that link in the description after the live post, I'll be out here looking for whales. And honestly, this live is it's really a Maui morning fix, but it's also to set the sail for 2023. Putting your resolutions out there, your intentions, everything that you're gonna switch up and make better. I've been doing Peloton, I don't know, for the last 8 or 9 months. It's changed my world, you know, just that regular exercise. Lost about 15-20 pounds, and I like to ride with a guy named Ben Aldis. One of the things he said on the last rides of the year was, the best thing you can do for your family is to live the best, healthiest, and happiest version of yourself. Whatever that is, whatever that looks like, the best, happiest, and healthiest version of yourself is the best thing you can do for your family in 2023. And I thought, Ben, that's a good goal, man, because you're not thinking about yourself. Sort of. I mean, you're benefiting, but you're thinking about your family and how they'll benefit from you being the happiest, healthiest version of yourself. And so I think part of that is having a sort of a Zen Maui moment, if you will, just relaxing, kicking back with your morning ritual. I'd be curious to know what your morning ritual is. You know, a lot of people here on Maui, this beach and this walk is part of their morning ritual. I see the same cars in the parking lot every morning, the same people, and this is what they do. Now, some of them bought houses in Laniapoko or Kapalua, and they're commuting to Kaanapali. You could just start out by buying a house or a condo in Kaanapali. You wouldn't have to drive that far. But we're not going to talk real estate, right? No. Eric, relax. Slow down, big boy. All right. We're just going to, hey, by the way, this is about whales. And I am looking. My eyes are on the horizon, over the ocean, looking for spouts. Matter of fact, this is a great way to do it. See what these people are doing here? They got the kayak. And you just go out there, and let me tell you, you're going to have some whale encounters. Oh. Or you go out on a stand-up paddleboard and just cruise. And this is the kind of morning you want to do it, when it's nice and calm, there's no wind, it's glassy, and you will have a life-changing experience. But I am watching, I'm looking. If I see a spout, if I see a breach, yesterday morning there was this beautiful rainbow that was right over Lanai. A little strip rainbow, if you will. Got some great shots of the whales in the midst. But, you know, I had to stand there for an hour and a half as the sun came up and had to wait patiently. It was like hunting. Just have to wait, and eventually, boom, there they are. They're like phantoms. So just to orientate yourself, you probably know this because you know Maui like the back of your hand, or at least you will if you watch my channel. Black Rock, Kaanapali, right there. The resort that started it all. And I've got Lahaina Royal Resort on my left. And of course the Maui Eldorado Cabana, right there. These are all wonderful places for you to stay if you ever come to Maui. Then you can make this little beach walk a part of your morning ritual. But I think it all begins with the beginning, right? What's your beginning look like? Your beginning of your 2023, the beginning of your day every day, how you set that up, I think, is a precedent for the rest of the day. Unfortunately, in this day and age, I think a lot of people get sucked right into negativity, into the news, into the scroll. Now, if you're on the YouTube scroll and you're watching this, like, okay, that's okay. Just kidding. But I am trying to provide some kind of solace and mental health and relaxation. A virtual Maui beach walk, if you will, while we look for whales. And then we're going to turn around, we're going to walk back. So just pretend like you're here. Just pretend like this lady here. She's here every day in the water with her dogs every day. Every day. It's awesome, man. What a cool lifestyle, right? Cute dogs, too. A lot of people start out with the morning swim like this guy, keeping it close to shore. Matter of fact, yesterday, my boys and I, check this out. Can't believe I'm actually walking. We did the e-foil for like 4 hours right there, Kaanapali Beach. We e-foiled, and it was fun, man. It's called, the name of the company is efoilhawaii.com, so check it out. Next time you're on Maui, go for an e-foil ride. It is absolutely ridiculously fun. But one of the things that the owner taught us, which I thought is interesting, let me know what you think. He said that, and I'm not a big fear factor guy for sharks, but he had us all put on shark bands, and he said, Eric, these things work, man. He goes, watch YouTube videos on it. So kind of got me thinking about it, like, yeah, it's a cheap device. It's like, I don't know, 80 bucks is what he said. It's a magnet, goes around your ankle, and they work. So why wouldn't we put something on that could help us prevent like a problem in the water? So kind of got me thinking about it. So let me know what your comments are on shark bands. Yeah, kind of makes sense. It's like if there's a deterrent, like when I go hunting, I used to carry bear spray and a couple guns, right? I don't like bears, and I will kill them if they try to kill me. But having a shark ban is pretty cool if it in fact deters issues with those top of the line food chain predators that every once in a while decide to take a little test bite. Not cool. But I think I might add those to the list of things to help prevent any kind of issues with the kids in the water. And this is how he told me, he proves to me that they work. He goes, the fishermen in Hawaii that spearfish, they're like too egotistical to wear them, is kind of what he said. Like it's a pride thing. He goes, but they'll put the shark band up on their catch. You know, so when they kill a fish, they string it up to the buoy that's floating behind them with a diver flag, and on the buoy they'll put the shark band because it'll keep the sharks from eating their catch. And it's absolutely true. When me and the boys used to go spearfishing, we'd string our fish up to the buoy, and every once in a while you start getting towed backwards. Like, yeah, there's a shark. He's eating our food. They go right for the fish. But he says those fishermen put the shark bands on their catch, on the buoy, and they never get eaten. But they won't put it on themselves. Kind of weird, huh? But let me know what you think. I don't know how we got on the topic of sharks, but... Okay, so here we are. This is the end of the walk right here is where Lisa and I got engaged underwater. And then we just do a nice little walk back. Now I know I named the video whale watching because I am. I'm watching for whales, I promise. I just haven't seen any yet. They might have had too much seaweed last night, and they're resting still. Did you have too much seaweed last night? Or plankton? I guess see plankton, right? Seaweed. Yeah, well, maybe seaweed is their concoction that they shouldn't be eating, and now they have a seaweed hangover. Should we just relax, quit talking? Beautiful shot of the West Maui Mountains. Sun, as you can see, just rose a little while ago. I think it was like 6:40 a.m. this morning when it rose. Now over here you can see the e-foilers have their first session at 7 a.m. You can kind of see them out there to the right of that boat. And they do, I think, 3 lessons every single day. And you just go to efoilhawaii.com. They're right here in Lahaina. Owner is a super cool dude. One of the most successful businesses on Maui since COVID. He actually launched the business right when COVID hit and couldn't operate, for a long time. And he was telling me he was the first business that was open on the island, on the beach, first beach activity that was open. And was able to get his business back in shape. Kept paying his employees during COVID. It's a pretty cool story, actually. And it is super fun. It's hard. I fell off like 400 times. I still suck, but it's fun, man. It is a sensation like you've never felt before. Flying on top of the water. I like these little spots right here where the shadows meet the light. You have a little pocket of morning energy. Before I moved to Hawaii, this was my screensaver. It's in the middle of December, January, February, March. When I was suffering at the deepest winter level that you could possibly fathom. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Frost on the inside of my windows, my house. Snowbanks in my backyard, trapped inside. This is what I look at on my screensaver. And somehow all of my dreams were wrapped up in someday making it to a place like this. I literally dreamed of waking up in the morning and going scuba diving and then going to work. I thought, could you imagine starting your day, blowing some bubbles, and then going to work? I'm like, this is possible, people. We can do this. Nice little morning paddle. Getting some vitamin D, looking at some fish, a little back stretch, a little wipe of the sweat. Yeah, I'm starting to get hot too, man. I know it, guys. Sorry. That sun is really starting to heat up the backside. Is this okay so far, guys? Is this cool? Is this alright? I don't know. I just thought we need to get 2023 started off on the right foot. We need to give Daniel some obnoxious amount of money so that he can extricate himself from Panama City, Florida. Could you imagine being stuck? He's not from there, right? He just went to Florida to help his grandparents sell their house. And apparently what happened is he was trying to get their house ready for sale. They were kind of elderly. And the neighbors next door were doing some kind of illegal work on the ocean. You know, you have the oceanfront property. Sometimes you do some kind of work out in the ocean. I don't know what the work was, but basically he called him out on it. He said, hey, you can't do that. He's from Maui. He knows how to protect the ocean. And he's one of those super ocean guys, you know, and environmentalist type. And he was like hassling the neighbors or calling them out on this work that they were doing illegally. And one of their workers came up to him in the middle of this sort of controversy, and he threw a bunch of water, or some kind, not water, some kind of liquid on Daniel. And he doesn't know what it was. He's like, what the hell? And then he went into sort of this amnesia state where he doesn't remember, like, what the heck happened after that. And he woke up a few days later in the hospital without any eyeballs. I know it's crazy. But I'm going to put a link in the description if you're just joining the live for a gentleman from Maui, lived here for 10 years, went to Florida to help his parents move, his grandparents sell their house, gets into some kind of skirmish with the neighbor, they cover him with some unknown liquid, he goes into a state of amnesia, wakes up a few days later with his eyeballs missing, and now he's trying to negotiate life as a blind man and has no family. Literally, he has no family. He lives in this one-bedroom apartment. The state gives him like $800 a month, and his rent is $1,300. There's a worker that comes from the state like once every 2 weeks. They drive 2 hours to help him, and they say they just check his mail and they leave. He can't walk any further than the trash cans in front of his building. He can't hardly operate a telephone. Just walk around your house blind. Close your eyes. Do it for an hour. And imagine that's your new reality 24 hours a day. It's almost so difficult to fathom. The difficulty is so difficult to fathom, I should say. It's hard to fathom that level of suffering or a life change. It's you just can't even, it's just unimaginable, really. So I believe if we're willing to help the helpless, and that's the position that he's in right now, he's in a position of helplessness. He can't do anything. I'm like, okay, I want to send you some money directly. And all he has is this GoFundMe and a friend on Maui that is paying his rent through the GoFundMe, but he can't even open up a bank account. He doesn't have a Venmo, doesn't have a PayPal. I'm getting ready to have a food service start delivering meals to him, like these organic, yummy, pre-made meals. There's all kinds of these companies now, because just eating food has been a challenge. Preparing food. Says he's caught the stove on fire a few times, you know, trying to prepare food by yourself and you're blind and you've never been blind. You can't get a seeing eye dog. You have to have 2-year or 3-year cane training. So anyway, I could go on and on about Daniel's plight. It's an incredible, horrible, sad story that I believe can have a beautiful, happy ending if we help. Just get him the resources he needs to get back to Maui, and then he can at least be around friends that he's known. His job used to be cutting down these coconut and palm leaves. He was a palm tree cutter here on Maui, worked for all the big hotels, had his own business. So I'll put a link in the description if you can just send him what you can. Start your new year out right with a little bit of help for Daniel. Can't go wrong. Comes around, goes around. Put some good energy out there in the universe. And someday when Daniel's walking on this beach with me someday, you'll know that you were a part of making that happen. Imagine that you're blind and at a later stage in your life. You have no point of reference for new places, right? If you were to go to some new place, you'd be like, okay, okay, sounds interesting, but I can't see anything. But imagine if he were to come back here and I took him for a walk on this beach. He's been on this beach before. He could imagine in his mind what it looks like. But then also you have the sights, not the sights, but the sounds, sorry. The sounds, the smells, and all those other senses would be heightened. He'd hear the waves and the birds, hear the wind. I believe we can even get Daniel back on the surfboard. He was a big surfer. I think it's possible. With the help of a few people, get him paddling back into a wave. Can you imagine? That would be so cool. So I've got big plans for Daniel in 2023. I think we can all get together and help him. And I'm still looking for whales, I promise you. They have checked out today for some reason though. This is crazy. They were all over the place yesterday. So again, if you're new to my channel, I do these live. And the whole idea is just to put yourself into that virtual reality, a little vicarious living through the eyes of my iPhone, as if you're just doing your ritual walk down Kaanapali North Beach. And sometimes I come back at sunsets and I show you that. And every once in a while I talk about real estate. And I say stuff like, hey, I'd love to be your guy. That's about it. Work is work, but life is about living. So get out there and do something cool. Do something fun. Push it, send it. Like literally, guys, I'm telling you, yesterday when I was out here doing this, I have 2 partially torn rotator cuffs right now because I went heavy on bench a couple weeks ago. And I'm in really bad pain in my shoulders. But did I let that stop me from sending it on these e-foils? No. I went out there and I was like, I don't care, man. I am going all the way, do the best that I can, and just have some fun. And I did, and it was cool. So that to me is what life's about. Take on some new adventures, some new challenges. Try something new. Like, I suck at this. I'm horrible at foiling. I really am. It's just pathetic. I can surf like nobody's business. So to go out there and be vulnerable and to be a kook, I know someday it'll work. Someday I'll get it. But that to me is what life's about. It's like being willing to humble yourself, do something you don't know how to do, try something that scares you. The adrenaline surge I had out there was nuts. And the pain that I felt afterwards, after crashing, 24 times at 12 miles an hour, it's painful, but in a good way, right? Not like crazy painful, but just sore. I was at the little New Year's Eve party last night, and I was hurting, but I'm okay now. Got my 5 hours sleep. Now I'm back on the beach, talking to you guys, looking for whales. Anticipating another amazing year, bringing Daniel back to the island, keeping the positive thoughts flowing. Wouldn't a cool New Year's resolution be, I'm not going to have any more BS negative thoughts? You know, all that stuff that creeps into your mind. You know, you have it, you start complaining and bitching about this and that and the other thing. Not even to other people, even just to yourself. Just like, wouldn't it be nice just to have a year where you're like, I ain't going there anymore. It's all good. Don't worry and be happy. Wouldn't that just be a cool year? If you could look back and go, that's my mindset the whole year, period. Nothing is going to throw me off dead center. Nothing. Nothing's going to move me. Nothing's going to shake me. Nothing's going to cause me. I don't need Prozac or alcohol or nicotine or whatever the heck else everyone's doing to try to get in that perpetual state of buzz. The only buzz is the natural one. There's no high like the most high. And just commit yourself to the discipline of a positive mindset. It's the set of the sail. I'm convinced everything in life is mindset. Everything. Because your mindset attracts other similar mindsets. So if your mindset's positive, you're going to attract other positive mindsets and you're going to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. If you're negative, you're going to attract other negative mindsets and you're going to do a bunch of negative stuff. Well, that sucks. I don't know. It's one of my goals for the year is no more negativity in any way, shape, or form. And when bad stuff happens, we see the silver lining, take the lesson, move forward, and make it more better. Continuous improvement, best practices, and lots of Maui fixes. All right, guys. Well, hey, it's been fun. I'm back at the park. I still don't see any whales. Not a single spout. Do I have to change the name of this video? Because this was whale watching not. And it's one of those days it would be so easy to see because it's so flat and calm and no wind. Like you could see a spout 10 miles away. I just don't see anything. So we do have a beautiful scene though of all these wonderful individuals enjoying their first day of 2023, walking the sands of Maui with their little guys, their little poochies, and hey, little buddy. See, he's happy. That's why we love dogs, right? They're just always stoking, man. Let's all be the person our dog thinks we are. Is that a bumper sticker? And they never talk back, right? They just like chill. Man, we could learn a lot from animals. And how about less news? How about less politics? How about less all that nonsense? 'Cause I don't know about you guys. I think it's all just nonsense at this point. Okay, maybe in 1977, Walter Cronkite said, well, that's the way it is. And it actually was. But now, that's the way it's not. Because it's all a bunch of who knows what they're concocting. And they're trying to control you and I. That's right. So let's just ignore them. Focus on what's important. Because the worst thing is, right, that gets in there and it affects your negativity, right? You get all pissed off or upset or, meh. Sometimes I just think to myself, Eric, you're 1 in 7 billion people. Right? Just do your thing. Quit trying to change the things you cannot change. Focus on Daniel. Focus on your family. Focus on what's important. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get us to focus on stuff that's not important. Are you guys getting a shot of this guy right now? Isn't that cool? You can sit on these things like a go-kart. And you can bank and do donuts. You don't have to stand up. I had all my kids out there. They had so much fun. All right, this water is looking so tantalizing. I have sweat dripping down my back. That's right. January 1st, sweating. I got my paddleboard in the back of my truck. I'm getting ready to be that guy. I'm gonna go get my GoPro, slap it on, and see if I can get out there in the midst of whales, gorillas in the midst, whales in the mist, the Maui mist, the Maui magical molecules. Quick shot of the park here. Nothing like morning, huh? My favorite thing about drinking. Forget the evening, just go to bed early, and then you wake up and you get to maximize this. Maximize your feelings of health and wellness and emotional positivity. That alcohol, I'm telling you, man, depressant. It's a fact. You drink it to feel good, but in the end, it kind of makes you feel bad. Doesn't make sense, does it? We're such illogical people sometimes. Poison that we're all convinced is fun. All right, guys. If you're a big drinker, I probably pissed you off, so sorry about that. It's all right. Do what you want. It's all good. Yes, sir. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. It's been fun. I'm going in the water. I'm going to enjoy this day. I'm going to try to take the day off. Maui no Kauai. Maui Dan. Love you, buddy. Have a great day. Till next time, Eric West. Link in the description coming for Daniel. Let's help him. Let's do this. I believe in you guys. We can do this. Share the link. Let's blow it up. I'm promising you, you will make one person sitting in a room in the blackness so happy. I can't find it. There it is.